If you're selling stuff online, you're underpriced. And I know that without knowing you. I'll prove it to you in about 30 seconds. Answer me 2 questions. What would you charge to do the thing you're really, really good at in person one time? Now, what would you charge to do that same exact thing online? I've asked a lot of people those 2 questions, and not once has the number been the same. The second number is always smaller, and it's usually way smaller, and not a single person has been able to logically explain the gap. I'm going to name that gap for you, walk you through the 3 reasons that you created it, and what it's actually costing the person who's buying from you. Then I'll show you how to find the number you should be charging. Here's the thing that you're doing. And I've done it too. I call it the screen discount. You know what you're worth in real life. If somebody asked you to show up in a room and do your thing for an hour, you'd be able to quote that number without flinching. You've probably already done it hundreds of times. Now put that same skill on a screen. Same brain, same number of years, same you, and the number literally falls off a cliff. 80%, sometimes more than that. Absolutely nothing changed except the delivery method. You didn't get worse at the thing. You didn't lose all the years. The only thing that moved is that nobody is physically in the room with you. So why does everybody do this? It's 3 reasons, and you're doing at least 2 of them. Reason number 1 is you price with your own wallet. You're setting the price based on what you would actually pay for your own services. So many people have told me this. I would never pay $100 for the thing that I sell. And as a result, they charge way under that, contrary to all of the advice on the internet from the so-called gurus who are telling you, would you buy this? Act like your own customer. You are not your customer. You're actually the worst possible judge of your own number on this entire planet. And there's a very specific reason for that. You already know everything that you're selling. You can't unknow it. So it looks obvious to you, and as a result, you think it looks obvious to everyone else. Somebody said this to me last week, and I can't stop thinking about it. They said, I'm a cautious buyer, so I assume that everyone else is too. That's the whole trap in one sentence. You're pricing for a customer who doesn't exist, and that customer is you. You're never buying your own stuff, so stop pricing it like you are. And look, I'm guilty of this too. I have paid someone $10,000 for one-to-one coaching. I paid $100,000 to be in a mastermind group, and I still get a little wobbly naming my own number even though I've paid the number. That's something I want you to think about. Look, nobody is above this and nobody is immune to this. Reason number 2, you price your effort, not their result. Now, what do I mean by that? You're pricing how hard it was for you, not what it's worth to the buyer. Somebody told me recently they couldn't charge much because they can pump these out fast. It only takes them a couple of hours. So I asked him one question. How long did it take you to learn how to do that in only 2 hours? Long pause. Because the answer was decades, and he was pricing for 2 hours. The buyer is paying for 20 years. That makes the 2 hours possible. This one feels like integrity when you do it. It feels like you're being fair. You're not gouging anybody. You're not ripping anybody off. You're being honest about the work. That is not integrity. And in a minute, I'm going to reveal to you why that's one of the worst things that you can do for your customer is undercharge them. Just remember that if it's easy for you, that's not a reason to charge less. If anything, it's a reason to charge more. That's the reason they're paying you at all. Reason number 3, and this one is the sneakiest because evidence doesn't kill it. You move the goalpost. What do I mean by that? I work with people who have stacks of testimonials, proof that they helped people. And those receipts are never good enough. It's always, well, when I get to a certain number of testimonials, I'll raise the price. And that's what this one does. It's waiting for evidence. It's waiting for a feeling. And the feeling never shows up because the feeling isn't about proof. It is only about permission. Listen for these ones in your own head. I charge more, but other people charge less. I'm not well known enough yet. I'll do it later. And the really honest one, the one somebody actually said out loud to me, deep down, I don't know if I'll ever feel ready. If the number you want to charge is waiting on a feeling from you, it's going to wait forever. Now, here's the part that I said I would get to, and it's the one that changed my mind about all of this, because remember, I'm guilty of the undercharging thing too. Every single reason that we just went through has the same thing underneath it. You think charging less is the generous move. You think it's the kind thing to do. You think it's the human thing to do. And there's research on this that proves otherwise. There's a study where they gave people an energy drink and they told them that it would help them solve puzzles. Same drink for everybody. The only thing that changed was the price. One group paid full price. The other group got it at a discount. I think you know what I'm about to say next. The group who paid full price solved about 9.5 puzzles. The group who paid the discount solved about 7.5 puzzles. Same drink. The only difference was what they paid. There's brain scan work that they've done on wine that found the same exact thing. Tell somebody that the wine is expensive and the part of their brain that registers enjoyment actually lights up more. Same wine. So think about what that means for what you sell. When you discount yourself, you're not just taking less money. You're telling the person holding it that it's worth less, and they show up for it like it's worth less, and then they get less out of it. So the low price isn't generosity. It's the thing making your work not work. I've had several people in the past tell me this exact thing. I didn't join your community because the price was too low. I didn't think it was serious. Those people joined at a higher price. And I watch this play out in real life all the time. Just last week, a woman told me she had a low price and doubled it. As a result, she got more buyers, not fewer. Another guy 5x'd what he charges for his work. While his volume dropped, he's still making the same amount of money doing less work. When you raise the price, you attract better buyers and people who will show up differently. You cannot hide from the evidence. So what's the actual number? Here's how you find it. I hinted at one of the methods in the beginning of this video. If you charge $500 for something in real life, why are you charging $100 for it online? The thing you need to immediately do is disconnect the environment. You charge $500 for it in real life. There is no reason that you can't teach the same exact thing on a screen. If anything, that is more valuable because people don't have to come travel and see you in real life. They can do it from the comfort of their own home or wherever they are. There's more value in that because you don't inconvenience them. So you should be charging at least the same amount. You already heard examples where people are doubling their prices or 5xing their prices, and they're making the same or more money and not having to do as much work. Every single time that I've raised my prices, it requires fewer people to hit my financial goals, and it weeds out the people who I don't want to work with, who are not going to show up, who are not going to take this seriously. So if you're looking for people to be more committed, more focused, show up, do the work, and get wins so that they can give you testimonials, which will grow your business even further, one of the easiest things that you can do is to raise the price of what your services are. And that is literally a 5-minute fix. I would challenge you to go into your pricing right now and double it. Hit save, publish it, and come back to this video and tell me in the comments that you doubled your price and you made more money and you didn't have to work as hard. One of the best ways to validate a higher price is to simply ask your existing clients who have paid for something and gotten a result from you. As an example, if you're charging $100 right now and you want to charge $200, go find 5 of your clients who have purchased the $100 version of your product or your service and they got a result. Maybe they left you a testimonial, and just go back to them. Thank them again for the testimonial, but say, hey, I'm thinking about raising my prices. Would you have paid $200 for the result that you got? And just let them answer. If the majority says yes, then I'm raising my price. And you should feel really comfortable about that because that is the market, not AI, not Google, not anybody else, not a coach, not me, to raise the price. You literally have people who have already purchased from you telling you that your stuff is too cheap. I've had people tell me, you're not charging enough for this. And if you're still watching this video and you have an online business, likely people have told you that too. And that is people screaming from the rooftops to raise your price and giving you the permission that you are so desperately trying to give yourself to charge more. And that is not ripping people off. That is not being dishonest. That is not gouging. Those are just all the stories that you tell yourself to make you feel better about the immense fear that you have about charging more money for the stuff that you've spent decades getting good at. It's time for you to put an end to the screen discount.